Xbox cloud gaming has a huge surge in the amount of people that are actually using it. Looking at the percentage that Xbox has put out themselves, Play Anywhere is continuously growing, and they've added 60 games here to the Play Anywhere list, which is something that I think is very important going forward, and they're going to continuously focus on when it comes to Xbox, when they have shows, and whenever they do talk about their ecosystem. Death Stranding 2, being published by Sony, is landing on PC earlier than I think people would have expected, or at least that's what it's looking like because it has been rated by ESRB. So we will take a look at that. Before we do, if you enjoy daily content, hit the subscribe, share, like. Let's get into it. As we know, cloud gaming is something that has been a major focus on expanding and growing and making bigger from the Xbox side of things, as well as other companies out there. I mean, you look at NVIDIA GeForce Now, and for a lot of people, that is the best cloud streaming service out there. Xbox is catching up, especially recently as they've added the 1440p option. And I would say Xbox cloud gaming, from my experience, when this generation first started, I was not a fan. I didn't think it was very good. But for the last 2 years or so, I've continuously felt and seen while playing games via the cloud just the major improvements. It is actually very good now. I have really no issues with stuttering or artifacting unless my connection is just absolutely terrible. And it's a viable option. If you want to just try a game, if you're out and you have your phone with you and you want to play games even with touch controls, you can do that type of stuff at any point now with Xbox Cloud Gaming, and everything syncs. If you have the cloud saves and everything, you pick up right where you left off. I think it's a very good feature. I've been using it more and more. I even have a dedicated cloud gaming handheld, one that you can't really download games on because it's not nearly powerful enough. And I use it all the time, more than I ever would have thought. And as we know, with the recent changes in Xbox Game Pass, one of the positive things you could say, aside from the price raises, is that they were bringing cloud gaming to every tier of the service. We've heard about the free tier that is going to be coming out. So they're really trying to expand cloud gaming out more. And they put out a post specifically talking about how Xbox Cloud Gaming with Game Pass is up 45%, and that it is available now in nearly 30 countries. So they say here that players are streaming their games more than ever. Cloud gaming hours from Game Pass subscribers has increased 45% compared to this time last year. I would take a wild guess and say this is simply because they put it into every service, every tier of the service. You don't have to be subscribed to Ultimate to get this. So even people who downgraded to premium or to the standard version of Game Pass are potentially still using Xbox Cloud Gaming. And that will give you an uptick in the overall amount of people using it, or even people who were previously on Xbox Game Pass Core. I think now they would have just transferred over to standard, and then they also get cloud gaming, which I don't believe they previously had. So that, I think, is a big thing as to why the percentage is up. They don't say 45% increase from what though, so we don't know just like how many people are using it, but it does seem like a relatively big jump here in a single year from one year to the next. And console players are embracing flexibility, spending 45% more time cloud gaming, streaming on console, and 24% more on other devices. I don't really use the cloud on the console. Like, I barely use it. It's only if I just want to quickly try a game out, and I would say that is the best way to use it on the console because you're on your hardware that you can just download the game. But if you want to try it out and see if it's worth it, then I'll occasionally jump in, but I'm mainly using it on my phone, on my cloud streaming devices, on PC handhelds at times if I don't want to actually download the device to the PC handheld and I just want to jump in and play right away. I use cloud gaming all the time there, but on the console, not so much. The other thing is they are expanding it out to more countries. They earlier this month expanded it out to India, which they say is the fastest growing gaming market in the world, which surpassed 500 million gamers this year. Now, I don't know too much about the demographics there and what they play, but I venture to guess out that it's probably mostly PlayStation there. And this is a way to get Xbox into people's homes, especially in countries that buying consoles is very expensive. It's a very big luxury thing. Not everybody has access to it. If they have internet though, you give them an app on their phone or you give them a browser, they can access Xbox Cloud Gaming. This is going to be a way to get into other countries. Even when you think about trying to expand out into the Asian countries, I think cloud gaming was one of the main things Xbox was focusing on because they know they'll never be able to compete with Nintendo or PlayStation in selling of their console in those Asian regions. It says here, with addition of India, Xbox Cloud Gaming is now available in 29 countries and also seeing exciting momentum in Latin America countries like Argentina and Brazil, which have shown double-digit growth in playtime and active players. So that is a big jump here. They've also brought it to more devices like the smart TVs and the VR Head Quest and the Fire TVs. We know that they've expanded that out. I wish they would be expanding this out to more. Bring it to Android TV. Bring it to the Roku TVs. Like, bring it to all of them. I don't know why it has to be held back at this point. It may need a bigger development for an app on those TVs. I'm not sure, but it seems like a no-brainer to, as fast as possible, get that Xbox app out on all of the smart TVs out there, because that is going to be a way I think a lot of people do end up accessing cloud gaming when they just turn on their TV and it's right there. They just click it, connect their Bluetooth controller, and boom, you're playing in the Xbox ecosystem. So that's interesting, and this coincides here with the recent upgrade to the 1440p, which I'm pretty excited to test out and just see how nice of an upgrade it is from what we previously had was 1080p. I think it'll actually look a lot better. Now, the next big thing here, and I'd say this is the most important thing to sell the Xbox ecosystem for a lot of people out there who look at it now and they say there's no exclusive, so what's the point of buying an Xbox? Xbox Play Anywhere is going to be the main selling feature, knowing you buy a game once and access it across a multitude of devices. I think that's going to be a major selling point for a lot of people out there if they were thinking of leaving the Xbox ecosystem, or if they're deciding between purchasing a game and they play on their PC as well. That's a big feature, and they're continuously adding more to this list. They just did a showcase where that was the highlight, Xbox Play Anywhere. That obviously has to do with the release of the Xbox handhelds, the ROG Xbox Ally and Ally X. So they're going to want to push that. And going forward to the next generation, it's going to be the main thing with the PC console hybrid, where you're getting your entire console and PC catalog in one place. I would say most games are going to be Xbox Play Anywhere. And we can see here that 60 plus games were added last month, and this list will grow. It'll just continuously grow. And it keeps, for me, popping up when I'm looking to buy a game. Even games I wouldn't expect have it. So this is a good sign. But here is the list of games, 60 plus of them. And I'm not going to read through all of the list, but just quickly scanning through it, what I do find that pops out is that a lot of these games are just kind of smaller, unknown games. And then you'll have some bigger ones thrown in there from major publishers like Square Enix with Dragon Quest. You also have some very popular indie games like Ball Pit right now, which is huge. Of Arc Raiders, which is the biggest game right now, which is part of Xbox Play Anywhere, so that's massive. But again, then there's just smaller indie games that I'm guessing it's just a click of the button. If they publish it on PC, they click Xbox Play Anywhere, publish it to the Microsoft Store, and boom, you're getting access to both versions of the games, which can be used across anything. And then if they have the cloud access, it's like you're playing these games on literally every single device that you own. And then with cloud saves going across from one place to the other, it really is like a magical experience that I feel like not a lot of people talk about for some reason. But the whole cloud saves and playing these games on different devices and it just instantly works is great. I always go back to my experience recently with Hogwarts Legacy, where I didn't boot up that game since 2023 after I finished it on the Xbox Series X, got dropped into Xbox Play Anywhere, booted it up on PC, and boom, I was right there with everything that I had. And for some reason, although I totally expected that to happen because I've been in this ecosystem for a very long time where cloud saves were already very good, I was shocked at how easy it just worked. And that's the future right now that we're looking towards here when it comes to the ecosystem. And I think it's not just Xbox that is doing this. I mean, you also look at Steam. The reason they're putting out their Steam machine is for people who want to stay within that ecosystem but want to access the games in more than one spot and bring it with them on the go. And then I think potentially, fingers crossed, PlayStation will also do stuff like this as well. If they release a PC launcher, or even if they don't, if they start implementing cross-buy with their games with PC and PlayStation, that's the big win, I'd say, for all gamers out there, regardless of what platform that you're playing on. Breaking down those barriers of exclusivity, you're going to start realizing, even if you are staunch on exclusivity, how much better of an experience that is for gaming. When you can go onto your PC, then log off, go to your big screen TV, sit down in front of your console, and just pick up right from where you were previously playing. One game that looks like it is coming from PC, that it seems like it's going to be published from Sony Interactive Entertainment based off of this posting, this ESRB listing, is Death Stranding 2. And this will be quite faster than what they did with the first Death Stranding. But we have this article here saying that Death Stranding 2 could be coming to Xbox, or could it ever come to Xbox? But a recent PC rating for a Hideo Kojima sequel makes it far more realistic possibility. I think this game will end up on Xbox at some point, just like it did with the first one. Whether they have to get another publisher like they did with 505 Games, I think it will eventually end up there. But we have this. Wario64 posts this out here, that Death Stranding 2 on the beach, ESRB rated for PC. And you can see at the top here that this is Sony Interactive Entertainment. And then it gives you PlayStation 5 and Windows PC. So this, I think, will be coming relatively soon. Whenever there is ESRB ratings, it means that the game is around the corner to be dropped on that platform. But there's a lot of discussion about this in the comments. What I find interesting is that if it does drop on Windows PC, and then if it does eventually come to Xbox, will this be another one of those Play Anywhere games? But it looks like this is much faster than what they did with the first game, because Death Stranding 2 just came out in this year. So it would be less than a year that they've waited in order to put this on PC. Released June 26, 2025. That's only a few months, but I guess it wasn't that much longer with the first one, where this one actually dropped in November of 2019, the first Death Stranding, and then it did release on Steam and the Epic Game Store in July of 2020, then later released on the Microsoft Store and PC Game Pass in August of 2022, and then later came to the Xbox Series X and S on November 7th, 2024. So just a weird timeline there, how they have a bunch of years between the release on all of the different platforms. But that was the first Death Stranding. This one looks like coming to PC. It says Windows PC. Who knows exactly what that means? Is it just Steam? Is it Epic Game Store? Will it randomly show up on Xbox PC as well? If it was rated for that, I don't know if that would be a case, but we will end up seeing if that happens. So if you haven't played this game and you're waiting, I would just keep waiting if you want to play it on PC at least. And it's getting rated via ESRB, which means that it should be coming out relatively soon. But I'm going to end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up, share all that stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.